The wife immediately rushed over to check on him. Without his pants to protect him, the man's knees had been badly scratched by the dirt. Fortunately, the woman had plenty of wilderness survival experience. She used a strip of cloth soaked in muddy water to help stop the bleeding. But even after that, the man continued screaming in pain. The solution they had worked so hard to come up with had failed. The man sat exhausted on the ground. He hated himself for being unable to get his wife out of the pit. If this continued, they would eventually starve to death inside the dirt pit. Just when the two of them had no idea what to do, raindrops suddenly began falling from the sky. The man became extremely excited because if the rain was heavy enough, the water flowing down from the mountain would fill the pit. Then they could use the rising water to jump and climb out. But the woman suddenly told him that she couldn't swim. Hearing this, the man was devastated. He had no choice but to help his wife stand on the highest part of the pit. Before long, the water began rising around their feet. Just then, the man noticed a long tree branch above them. He reached out trying to grab it, but suddenly the woman's foot slipped and she fell into the water. The man immediately jumped in to rescue her. The two of them desperately held onto tiny vines growing along the wall to keep themselves from sinking. As the water level continued to rise, the man had to climb higher, but suddenly the vines snapped. Both of them plunged straight into the water. Fortunately, the man knew how to swim and managed to rescue her from the bottom. After learning from this failed attempt, the man became much more careful. He found a strong vine and held onto it tightly. Then he let the woman step on his body and climb upward. Using this method, the woman finally managed to escape the pit. But by the time the man reached the top, he was completely exhausted. The woman didn't even have time to rest. She quickly searched for a branch to pull the man out, but when she returned to the pit, the man had already sunk beneath the water because he had run out of strength. The woman cried desperately, but for the sake of survival, she had no choice but to leave. However, in the middle of the wilderness, she had absolutely no idea which way led home. She hadn't gone very far when exhaustion overwhelmed her, and she collapsed on the ground. Was she really going to die here? Just as the woman was about to give up, she suddenly heard the sound of a car in the distance. She became extremely excited. Using every bit of strength she had left, she ran toward the vehicle and successfully stopped a passing car. But when the driver got out, the woman suddenly became frightened. She noticed that there was a bad guy sitting in the passenger seat. Terrified, she immediately turned around and ran. Unfortunately, she didn't get far before the driver struck her with a stick and knocked her unconscious. He then threw her into the car. The woman desperately wanted to escape, but by then she was completely helpless.